Well, hello, hello, and that's two hellos for you. Good to see you again. Short talk in the trailer with you know who, that old guy. Hey, that's me. My name's Mike. See, you can see right there. It's kind of sometimes funny when you stand in a grocery line or something, and or in a restaurant or whatever, and they place an order, and I need a name. It's like I don't say anything. I just kind of go. Finally, the girl looks up, or the young man, and I'm just doing this. Oh, Mike. Good to see you. Glad you're here. A long day, by golly. It's after 10 already, in the evening, that is to say. And I just I got back. It was about 8:30, I think. No, it was more like 9. When I got back in, it was a long day, by golly. I pulled out of here. It was 7:30, something like that. So what do you call that? 13 hours later. But it was so stupid. I got off work, and we had such a great day at work. It was just amazing. I actually put that bathroom pair together back to back from one side, and I was so sketchy on that. I was thinking this ain't gonna work, and it worked great. And as I pieced it together, I kind of began to. In other words, last week when I walked in, I kind of had this vague interception about it's got to probably involve some combos over there, and then I saw it. I'm gonna lay down here. Oh yeah, we're gonna roll that. Square it up. Oh yeah, this will work. And we cruised right on through it. Now it took a long time and a lot of false starts, but we got the darn thing in. Well, we didn't get it in 100%, but this, I got to tell you, this is so crazy. I was sitting in the ditch over there, kind of looking at this tub upside down and kind of going, how's this thing going to work? And how deep do you want that invert depth? How deep how deep are we going to start? And I thought, I don't know. So we've got 36 deep on the end. Let's blaze it back, blaze it, and I kind of came up with a number like 26. Well, I didn't hit it. I got more like 27. There was a goof in the glue joints somewhere. I don't know. I did something wrong. But we went right through the roof. We got the thing flashed out. We got the whole thing rebuilt in the wall. We got everything tied in underground. We even took the kitchen back. Now, you get this. We cut into the kitchen drain, which is old cast iron, just like the rest of the system. And boy, the one I went through with a grinder, it was like, what the heck was that? It was like cutting through a piece of, putty or something. It was like, this is the worst pipe I've ever seen in a long time. So I tried to cut it back square and get it clean and stuff, but there's this huge crack running right down the middle of it on the top. So I talked to my guy, Dimitro. He's pretty sharp. Real good. This guy's smart. And he said, well, do this. He says, get your new invert pipe to the kitchen, at least back to the wall, and we'll set them up if we have to later for a second, bid. And that would be cutting into the kitchen. This one went through the bathroom right throughout the house, cut the thing in half. And, but by golly, it was just so surprising that my guy Marty, he went in, he tried to cut it once and he kind of goofed up because he cut right through the half of the old SV hub, and I thought, what's the point of that? You know what an SV hub is, of course. No, you don't. Hub and spigot. It's like if you imagine a female, then the male goes in here. Well, they used to stick this stuff called oakum in stuff. It's like horsehair. It was oily horsehair. Stick oily horsehair in there. This is how plumbing was done. Then you take what's called a running rope, which I've never owned, and a running rope went up the side, and then you tag it off tight. Then you drop your lead in, pour it down. Then you take your packing tool, which is kind of like a chisel, and you pound that sucker home. That's how you sealed horizontal joints. And I was like, man, talk about time consuming. I don't think I want to mess around with the plumbers who put this stuff in. Talk about work. Golly. This is 100 times harder than doing PVC. So anyway, we made the stinker roll, and we kept tweaking and gadgeting and up and down and throw that dirt over here and make it. Yeah, where's my tape measure? Got all day long. I finally made the thing go, and we got it squirted out finally right at the end of the day. here's where we're coming in from the city. We got to roll in this way, and here it comes out. So all I got to do now is drop in one more eighth bend and a CT adapter, and we're gonna tag it up. So it's like, man, that was one day of plastic I couldn't believe. But my young guy Marty, he's a good guy, a good worker too. But he hadn't done this before. And frankly, I didn't really want to admit it to him. Well, neither have I. Let's see if we can figure something that works out. And it worked out real great. So I felt real good, got out of that shop, go back to... So anyway, there's this side job, the one I mentioned the other day down there at the Highway 28 brewery. And darn it, still got to run that PEX line. So pulled out of town, 4:44. I'd noticed the time, 4:44. Get all the way down there. It's 30 minutes one way. Jump on the interstate, 25 miles or whatever it is. Total, I mean. And where's my tool bag? What? So right now it's like 5:05 at that time. So I called Jay back, the guy that, does all the maintenance, not maintenance. He kind of runs the office, all the billing and all that stuff. So I said, hey man, have you already left? He said, no. I said, do me a favor, go back, see if you can find my dang tool bag. Somehow at the end of the day, although I thoroughly intended it, it didn't happen. So he said, yeah, I found it. I said, well, look, I'll be there as soon as I can. It's like 16, 18 minutes one way, whatever it was. And actually, I think I was exaggerating. It's more like 20. But anyway, the short version is, finally got back 1 hour later with my tool bag. And then we got going on that PEX tube up overhead, and made her go, and only made one boo-boo, and so I kind of felt pretty good about that, because I screw up a lot. But how do you catch screw-ups? Learn to see them. See, this is what I'm trying to tell my young guys. Look, everybody screws up. Everybody screws up. Start there. The problem is, can you recognize your own screw-ups? Or are you going to walk away and say it's done? No, you don't know it's done because you didn't fix it. But you don't know what to look for, see? So that's what kind of... Well, it's more than plumbing. It's all kinds of things, engineering and all kinds of stuff. Where, on one hand, you think, well, as we walk in the door, what was the game plan here? What we were trying to achieve? Well, wait a minute. We ran into this problem. How can we do it with that as part of the equation? Think about it, make it happen. And that's what I love about plumbing is that, it's not a real, physiological thing. It's not a deep psychological thing. It doesn't touch me in terms of art or beauty, except I just love looking at things that are straight and true. straight down, straight up, make her happen. And well, not straight, because you won't slope. So anyhow, got that darn PEX line in down there, and pulled out. I got back here, might have been 9:15 or something like that. So a little over an hour. So I was sitting here watching YouTube videos and crap. And just kind of wanted to say hello. Sometimes when I go into jobs like this, this thing, well, I'm thinking tomorrow, we could get that thing backfilled pretty easy tomorrow before the end of the day. Do I want to even try to pour concrete? I mean, we're talking 45 or 50 bags of concrete mix. This is going to be nuts. So I think what I need to do is import the little mixer, because this is so tight in here. It's just crazy, left, right, how tight everything is. Trying to round a corner. You can't get the mixer in the room where the concrete needs to be done. So are we going to mix everything in a wheelbarrow? I can do that. But I hate thinking about mixing 80 bags like that. Maybe not 80. That might be an exaggeration. So I got a genius idea of how to determine how many bags I need. And usually I'm pretty close, within a bag and a half. And so I'm hoping my little guesstimator is okay. But I think, why don't we just call in an order, get a delivery out here. They got the forklift, bring the concrete ready mix in, and we'll just cover it up with a tarp, for the weekend. So put that on the bill as well, because the same company that sells concrete sells tarps. cover this sucker up and just get her backfilled, get her pressed down as best we can. Because, the idea of getting all that dirt back in there where we pulled it out probably isn't going to work. We're going to end up with extra dirt. It almost always happens. But we can water it down, and I haven't added a bit of water yet. We can water it down, and we can get her to compact as best as we can. But I'm not going to run a machine on that. The jumping jack, no, forget it. And we'll make her happen. And it's just one of those deals where at the end of a really long day, this is like 14 hours or whatever, I'm just sitting there thinking, well, I'm glad that happened. I mean, I kind of walked into, like I said, walked into this thing kind of sketchy thinking, man, I don't even know how to plumb them. How am I going to plumb under a bathroom I'm not in? We made it happen. And I like doing stuff like that. This is a challenge for me. It's like, gives you something to think about. Try harder, use your imagination. Wiggle the picture, rotate it. Can you see it from another angle? Can you get to it without destroying everything? That's what plumbing's about. So anyway, as you can see now, I hope that you can respect this here. That's still fairly dirty, but not horribly filthy. I couldn't believe that stuff in the shower. I was using lava soap. The stuff that really is supposed to be real gritty and whatnot. And a Scotch-Brite. I was taking a shower with a Scotch-Brite and lava soap. Trying to get that stuff off my knuckles and stuff. And I'm not sure I got 100% of it out of my beard. that black iron, when you cut through that black cast stuff, it's like, well, you got to watch out. I mean, you gotta have eye protection. You just need it, especially if you're spinning up with a mini grinder. Now they say there's blades for sawzalls which supposedly cut through cast iron. Sorry, maybe they do, maybe they don't. But the ones they claim that are made specifically for cutting cast iron, you don't want any part of them. It's this stupid abrasive junk stuck on a blade, sticking in your sawzall, and what it does is it goes whir, 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 whir. It hardly scratches it. Give me a mini grinder with a diamond blade and I'll blow through the sucker. That's how you work. You got to find what works for you. So as I was just thinking today on the way home, and I thought, well, I guess I'd like to make a video. Why not? I mean, I like talking with you guys. And I hope you like, listen to something I have to say every once in a while. And, nobody's perfect. Nobody's got it all together. But when you really want to do something right and you want to make it good, and you're all tuckered out and you're just burning yourself up, I mean, you're using all your energy, you still got to make it right. And with him, it can happen. I tell you what, I'm testifying now. I was so surprised at the very end of the day. I mean, we're already running late. We're supposed to be at the shop by 4. It's like 4 minutes to 4. And I thought, well, I guess we should get out of here. I'm looking at the last 2 pieces. I got a piece of pipe looking like that and another one at 45 to it, about 6 feet away. All I got to do is tag it in with a 45, done, done. I'm probably going to throw in a CT adapter. I think I mentioned that. Just make it easier. Anyway, the point being, I said, well, let's measure the invert height. So you got a 2-foot level out there. 28.5. 31 or 30. 30. 1.5 inches in 6 feet remaining is it's 2% beautiful. It's golden, man. We nailed it beautifully in terms of elevation. And really, when I was in the ditch starting in the morning, I kind of went, I don't know, 26 looks good to me. I just kind of was guessing, and it worked out. That's unusual. And so I give thanks to the great King who guides us as we go. He knew, I guess better than I did, what the correct invert depth was, and he made that thing understandable to me. So it's like I knew what to do. And I'm not saying this is like some kind of mystical thing. I'm just saying I asked for help today. I walked in the door and asking Jesus, hey, help me see what to do. Help me roll with this in a way that makes sense and honors you. And well, I think the answer is it succeeded. I succeeded almost in spite of myself because I kept running across this during the day. Like, my gosh, where's my tape measure? Why do we not have a level? Where are they? They were here 2 minutes ago. All day long, around. And then I finally got all the way down to that side job at the end of the day without a tool bag. And I said, Jay, I said, I blame Marty. It's not his fault. It's my fault. But it's fun to kind of throw that kind of stuff around when you're working. Just like, I know the young guy's trying and he's learning and he's learning. And one day he'll be a good plumber. Right now, he's just taking information in. I mean, I'm asking him stuff that's real basic. He don't know it. And it's like, well, that's okay. That's why we're here. You will learn it when we get done. Even if you have to do it 20 times. It's going to happen. We'll make it right. Why? Because that's who we are. Have a good day. Bye-bye.